I am now pleased to announce and introduce our fourth finalist this evening, Euroworx Automotive Specialist, a new level of service for auto care and your luxury vehicle. Highly accredited in European cars, master BMW technician, and a single dad of an adorable 4-year-old son. I hope you brought pictures. Jake D. St. Hubert is the founder and president of Euroworx Automotive Specialist. Having listened to luxury vehicle owners complain about the inconvenience of having to deliver their European vehicle for diagnostics, maintenance, or minor repair, Jake decided to change the game. Jake and his team will now bring diagnostics right to your front door. It is a new level of automotive service that has never been tried before, and he is proud to bring it to the Scott County area. Please welcome Jake D. St. Hubert of Euroworx.
Hello, everyone. Thank you for having me tonight. I'm Jake D. St. Hubert. I started Euroworx this year in 2020. This is my reason why right here. As you know, I'm a single dad of a 4-year-old son. I want to give him a legacy as well. So I started this for him, and I'm going to hopefully continue this legacy on for him so he can continue on fixing cars like I do, having the passion I do, and giving back and serving to the community. My son loves cars just like me. He follows me around everywhere I go in the shop. I teach him everything I know, and I'm trying to help him with his future on serving the community and serving people, not just fixing cars. The history and progression of myself started working on cars as a child with my dad. He owned a paving company. Got into really liking to tinker with things in cars and the trucks and working up from there. Started at 15 years old. I went on to working in an automotive shop in a small town in New Prague as a tech helper. Fell in love with still working on cars. In high school, took on automotive classes, went on for automotive competitions in Minnesota, and I took 3rd place in state even in high school. Went on to automotive school at Universal Technical Institute in Chicago. I did graduate valedictorian out of the largest graduating class out of Chicago in history out of Universal Technical Institute. Then I went on to BMW STEP program, which is a highly accredited BMW program that only 200 students a year out of the nation get elected into, and I was one of those students. After graduating BMW STEP, which is a year-long program, every day, 5 days a week, 10 hours a day, I did graduate with highest honors in the nation. After that, I went on to working in the BMW dealerships for a very long time, BMW of Tucson, BMW Sears Imports, BMW of Minnetonka, and then I went on to out of Richfield and did some working around automotive industry here in actually Prior Lake at an automotive shop here. The problem I saw throughout my years in the automotive industry is people's time is valuable. We want to bring that time and give it back to you by going to your place, by being able to diagnose your vehicle on the spot, fixing your vehicle on the spot, and hopefully getting you on your day because you have just as busy a schedule as everyone else, if not busier. A lot of dealerships, a lot of shops will not do this because it's inconvenient for them. We want to bring convenience to you. So during this quarantine, people are home and they have things to do with homeschooling and now with online education with kids. We are now seeing an uptick in this house calls. A lot of it is actually here in Prior Lake. We do a lot of house calls here at the Wilds. I have fixed several cars already in people's driveways for oil leaks, check engine lights, ABS lights, and so forth. So we are taking the problem on and finding a solution for you. We also want to be able to be there for the underprivileged, the disability. And to bring up a story, we had a customer at BMW who didn't have a right foot. She would have to bring her car in. We'd have to transfer her pedal from the right side of the vehicle to the left side of the vehicle, and it was always a problem for her. So we want to bring those problems to your place and fix them right there so you don't have to take the hassle to bring it to the shop. House calls, like we talked about, we want to be able to bring the vehicle or bring the diagnostics to you. We have invested a lot of money and time into learning how to fix these cars in your driveway. Service overview. Automotive repair is always kind of looked down upon, even in today's age, with mechanics not being able to be trusted. It's always a kind of a hassle when your car breaks down at the most inconvenient time, and you're trying to get the kids to school, or you're trying to get to work. There's always that inconvenient time, and then your car doesn't work. Not being able to have a car to rent or towing company. Maintenance is a huge thing. People always forget their maintenance on their vehicles. We want to be able to bring that maintenance to you. We want to be able to bring that car to you. We want to be able to bring that diagnostic information to you. And giving back, too, is another big thing that we want to do with the charity program for the underprivileged. Just like I did with my church, we used to do it every Sunday. We would help fix cars for the underprivileged, single moms, single dads, people who just didn't have the money to fix their cars. We want to bring that and develop a program in our shop for that quarterly, invest a couple $1,000, $2,000, $3,000 in our time to help fix people's cars that just can't afford to get their vehicles fixed, because if they can't get to work, they're in a lot more trouble than we are. Community involvement, we are in the Chamber of Commerce in New Prague. We are in the Chamber of Commerce in Prior Lake. We just donated some items to the Chamber of Commerce of New Prague for Ladies' Night, which is a huge success, and that was really awesome. We're trying to get involved in the school sports in Prior Lake and in New Prague as we speak. We're trying to get on the boards, actually, of the New Prague Ice Arena, and I've tried to get some other ice arenas, like in Lakeville. We're in talks with them as well. The competition out there are the dealerships and other aftermarket shops. I've been in the dealership world, I've been in the aftermarket shops. They do not bring the solution to your home. They will not. All they want is, in my opinion, is their bottom line to be met. Obviously, there's a bottom line to be met, but we want to actually solve solutions before our bottom line is met, and that'll bring our bottom line higher. Competitors, the auto repair industry, there's probably, in a 30-mile radius, over 100 automotive shops. There's over 100 dealers out there for any car dealership out there, and they do towing and rental, but they charge you. Our automotive industry here in Euroworx, we are the only ones that do house calls. We are the only ones that will supply a tow for you. I've even picked up tow charges for people just to help them out in inconvenience for them. They're focused on money, pay off on parts, little charity, the me mentality. I've seen it firsthand. I've worked for it firsthand in several dealerships, automotive shops, even locally. We want to be a community first. We want to be able to give back. We want to be able to share our stories, and we want to build with the community. One of our main goals is to have a shop right here in Prior Lake, the main hub. That's where I'm planning on having the main hub of Euroworx here. And then stemming from that, we want to bring smaller shops across the rural areas that just don't have automotive repair shops for these European cars. I get a lot of cars from Waseca, Mankato, even Iowa. I've even had cars from North Dakota come down. St. Cloud, I got a car coming from Sartell, Minnesota, coming down. These rural areas just don't have anybody to fix these cars, so we want to bring that to these rural areas. And our main hub will be here in Prior Lake, and we will stem from there. Business model, we wanted to make sure in the beginning that our marketing and advertising was set. We wanted to make sure our branding was set. One thing I told my marketing and branding agency is that you look at a Nike sign, everyone knows what a Nike sign is. You look at Under Armour, everyone knows that you can look at an Under Armour symbol and know what Under Armour is. We wanted to really focus on our symbol right away and plummet money into marketing and branding as soon as we could to bring the brand up. And then we have to earn that brand every day. And that's our goal. Again, giving back to the underprivileged, disabled, elderly community. We want to do that on a quarterly basis, and hope if it's a success, maybe do it on a monthly basis. Referrals, we do referrals for other businesses to help other businesses out. We have referrals from shops here in Prior Lake, shops in New Prague, Shakopee, Lakeville. We work together as a community to help each other out. Service testimonies, we obviously want that 5-star rating. Every day we do our best to obviously get that 5-star rating. Customer service is number one. Our strength, we have superior technicians. I'm in the mix of right now hiring a new technician right now. That's an advanced certified Audi technician and a master certified Audi technician. Business, our weaknesses right now is our limited space to expand. We are so busy right now in my one-man shop that we are actually looking at expanding here in Prior Lake right now, just renting a shop to be able to expand. Opportunities, like we talked before, we want to make our main hub here in Prior Lake, and we want to be able to stem out from there. For goals, this year our goal was 250,000 in gross sales. We're actually going to double that. Charity, we are working on a charity program right now, and expansion, as we talked, to Prior Lake bays, 8 to 10 bays, and then subdividing from there. Here are some reviews that we have gotten throughout our industry so far. These guys are from Edina, and one was from St. Paul. So these are some of the advertisements we have started this year, and we're not done yet. We are building this brand every single day. If you have any questions for me, go ahead and contact me at the numbers below and the email below.
Good job. Thank you. That was a great job.
Thank you.
Appreciate it. Very clear and concise. So I'm also a car guy, and through COVID, I've needed our vehicles worked on a couple times. You know, ASAP Tire came and put the summer tires on, and so I've actually used this service twice now since COVID. So I'm a big supporter. I was curious, are there any like permitting, insurance, or I think about like equipment requirements, like a car lift, for example.
Correct.
When I think about a mobile mechanic going, into my garage, can they do 80% of what they need to do given the equipment that they can bring with them in their van, for example?
We can do about more likely 50%. 80% would be a hard target to hit. I mean, some of these repairs are pretty extensive. For instance, the repair I did in Prior Lake here just not too long ago, he had an oil leak, went to his house, talked to him, located the oil leak for him, and was able to repair the oil leak right then and there. If the oil leak was something down below where maybe it was an oil pan gasket, that would be very hard to do in the garage, and there would have to be a lot of consent and forms signed in case there were injuries. That would be the legal portion of it, but as far as the house diagnostics and small repairs, it's pretty reasonable to do in people's homes.
Got it. So in that case today, are you then renting a space in a garage to then take that vehicle to and do the further repair?
I own the shop that I'm in now. So I purchased the whole property as of Friday, actually. So
Great. Congratulations.
thank you. Yep.
That's great. And one more question, as a non-mechanical person, I've always wanted to ask this question. I know because there are, if you own a German car or a Japanese manufactured car,
Yep.
There must be an advantage of going to a mechanic that has experience in Audi or BMW or Lexus, for example. Just curious if you could explain what that difference is
Okay.
in terms of adding value, and then why you chose the Euro manufacturers as your business going forward.
So when working with a European car, there's a lot more technology. If you work on a Chevy Suburban, case in point, I had a technician at an independent shop that I was working at. I was a manager. He couldn't figure out why the window wasn't opening in the left rear window. It was pretty simple. I just looked at the wiring diagram and I said, it's just a bus wire from the switch back to the body module, back to the switch, which then sends the signal to the actual window motor, and figured that out. With a European car, there's a mapping of modules, and there's a mapping of different bus systems. His was just a CAN bus. a BMW, for instance, would have a door switch on a LIN bus that would go to an SZL, then that would go to an FRM module, then that would go to the ZGM module on a MOS bus, or on a ByteFlight bus, which is light, fiber optics, then would transfer back and get all this communication to send back to that window switch, which is an actual module, then to the door module, then to the window motor. There's a huge difference in lines on how you process that. I just had a Jaguar F-Type in that was in a shop that he couldn't figure out why the blower motor wasn't working. It was just a blower motor for the AC, but the way it was processed in the modules and the CAN networks and the networks innards of the vehicle, there was no way anyone could have figured it out unless you had that advanced technology and advanced diagnostic skills.
That may be the best
Did you get
answer
that?
I've ever heard of any question I've ever asked.
Right. Well, great response. I'm not sure I know anything about what you just said. But I wanted to first say congratulations and really kudos to you on your certainly expertise as you went through all of your training, and it really certainly shows kind of what you have to be able to do this job. But my question about that is, when you talk about scalability of your business and what you're talking about, how are you finding the talent and the expertise in order that you're not doing and having to do all of this work? And how complex is that? And either what success have you had in that or not had in that? And is that a barrier to where
That's going to be
growth?
it's a little bit of a barrier. Luckily, I've been in the automotive industry a long time. In the dealership world, I have a lot of friends that still work in these dealerships. And I've got one friend right now who is jumping ship from the dealers because the dealers are now taking things away from technicians. They're taking bonuses. They're taking their CSI bonuses, their team leadership bonuses, their advanced diagnostic bonuses. That's why I quit, is because they took $70,000 away from me for being that advanced. They're doing that at every single dealer now because they're worried about their bottom dollars instead of worrying about the people working for them. So it's actually been a lot easier to find these advanced guys. I'm also in a pool with BMW. One of my best friends is an RTE for BMW. He's a regional technical engineer, so he has a pool of people as well. So that hasn't been quite a barrier yet. I'm sure down the road, once we start employing several more employees, as we stem out to smaller shops, that might be, but as long as pay is there, gratitude is there, opportunity is there, guys will come, women will come. It does. I mean, as long as you show that you're an established business and you're going to take care of them, the people will show.
And just to clarify, how many employees do you have right now?
Right now, we have 3, and we're expanding to 4.
Okay, great. Thank you.
Great presentation. I love the branding, and I encourage you to do what you need to do to protect that. We've got a law firm up here, and I'm sure that you can find a way to get the appropriate intellectual property protection that you need to really build and expand your brand. I applaud you on your community first mentality. I think you can never go wrong by doing good, and obviously your commitment to that is evident, and I would trust you in a heartbeat with just about anything with the way you talk.
Thank you.
I would like to ask you a little bit about, what do you need to expand, right? Like kind of what is your expansion plan? Is it, you've bought the shop, congratulations on that.
Thank you.
Is it more people, more mobile stuff? Is it another brick and mortar location? Like kind of what's your overall plan?
So the overall plan right now, short plan would be, right now we're adding another hoist for this next technician that's coming on board. He's going to take over a lot of the responsibilities that I'm doing right now, which is repairing most of the vehicles, diagnosing them. My one technician I have now, he's more of a beginning technician. We've been training him since day one. His job is to actually continue training him. He'll be bonused on that as well. So our expansion in the short term right now is adding another hoist. Long term would be expanding into a brick and mortar building, a storefront, and having that establishment in Prior Lake. My main goal, and always has been in Prior Lake, because it's such a central hub for a lot of community people. They love their community, and they do have lots of these cars. I mean, it's very noticeable. I'm getting begged by other shops to stay in New Prague, but it's just it's just not there. So the expansion would be long-term, be in Prior Lake, have a brick and mortar store, get that centralized hub down, and then stem from there.
And so the concierge service would be for, depending on what the need was, right? So
Correct.
if when the customer calls in and they describe the problem, if it sounds like something that maybe could be repaired on-site, you would just go out and do that?
Correct.
And then if it's something more complicated that requires a hoist or whatever, you would
Correct.
do that in the shop?
Correct, yep. So,
Thank you.
thank you.
All right.
Judges, I'm sorry to interrupt. I just want to make you aware you've got about 2 minutes left on your questions, so.
I will be very, very brief. First of all, don't lose the service aspect or the mobility aspect of it. I think those are differentiators for you. What's the cost of the diagnostic equipment?
I have one scanner in that box that's $16,000. I have one scanner in that box that's $10,000. I just ordered another $12,000 scanner. To update these scanners every 3 months is $3,000.
It's a good answer.
So a lot. So high capital cost, high barriers to entry. So how do you price your service relative to what I would get at Motorworks or Minnetonka, BMW, for example?
We price it accordingly. Our labor rate is based off of what I believe is fair in the industry and our region. We can't charge $175 an hour in new preg. It's just not feasible. Plus, we want to be less expensive than the dealer, but yet bring a better quality than the dealer. And that's where we price ourselves out. I actually go out and price check the dealers quite often just to make sure that we are sustaining a fair price for the customer. Plus, we price shop other shops around just to make sure that we are still in the ballpark of other shops.
So you're using them as a benchmark and trying to
Correct.
figure out how to
Correct,
position?
yes.
And your typical customer is going to be the year 5 BMW owner, because,
Correct.
Up
Yep, well,
1 to 5 is
BMW has
under
changed
warranty.
their warranties, yep, to 336, but.
oh, is that, okay,
Yeah.
the year 4.
Yeah,
Knowing firsthand that a BMW or I think any German car, 1 year out of warranty is an expensive
Correct.
proposition. So that's your need.
that is my goal line, yep, so that, our goal line is after warranty. Even with Audi and Mercedes, they don't cover brakes and they don't cover, suspension like BMW does. So even from the day one in those vehicles, we can still capture that into our business.
Good. Thank you.
Thank you, judges. Thank you, Jake. I was very happy with the amount of kid pictures in your presentation, so thank you for that. This concludes our 4th finalist. Thank you, Euroworx.
Thank you.